Good morning, this is Diana Sescolini, and this is going to be lecture videos for tax planning for UCR. So just want to let you know, I'm actually going to go through the PowerPoint, but I'm going to talk about points. So I'm going to park myself, actually, in case you need me, I'm right over here in the corner. So we're going to talk a little bit about Chapter 1. This is called Income Tax Fundamentals for 2020. Now, this is for a different year than what we're doing now. Every year, tax laws change. I did not update the lecture PowerPoints for the current year, but not a lot of changes have happened. But every year, there's a new textbook when it comes to income tax or payroll accounting because there's so many changes in the tax laws. So we're going to talk about, Chapter 1 talks about the individual income tax return. And I'm not going to read all of this stuff. This talks a little bit about the history. Let me get my little laser pointer. The little history of tax system. I do not test on that. This is just for your benefit only, so you can know what's happening here. This I do want to talk about. This is important. In 2017, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, TCJA, was put into place. And if I believe correctly, it's going to be into place for 7 years, I think, 5 or 7 years. And here's what happened on that. Individual tax rates were reduced. There was some personal exemptions that were suspended. In other words, you can't use them as exemptions anymore. And there were some other things. They increased the child tax credits. But just so you know, we will mention TCJA frequently throughout the lecture PowerPoints. So you want to remember that this is a temporary thing. I believe 2025 is when it will come off, and then the things will resume. So for personal individuals, most people file their form on 1040, and then there's usually schedules. There's a Schedule 1, a Schedule 2, and a Schedule 3. Now, the average person may or may not use all these schedules. It depends on what other things you have going on. Tax forms and individual tax scenarios are different for everybody. So nobody has exactly the same scenario going on. Okay, in addition to schedules, there might be what we call different I'm sorry, let me say that again. In addition to the schedules 1 through 3, there might be other schedules A, B, C, D, E, and F. So A you would use if you're going to itemize deductions. And basically what that means is you either take the standard deduction that the government allows, or you itemize. You take the larger of the two. Now, the itemized deductions, and we'll get into that in future chapters, really only should be taken if you have usually a mortgage interest or you have expenses that can actually be itemized that would exceed the standard. Schedule B is when you have income, dividend or interest income greater than $1,500. Schedule C is if you own a small business or a business and you're a sole proprietor. Schedule C and Schedule A are probably the most two important ones that you'll see most frequently. Schedule D is for capital gains and losses. E is for rental income, and F is for farm. So these are the different forms that you might see when doing taxes. When I'm doing a corporation, it's a Form 1120, and there's a flat rate of 21%. Okay, so 1120 is the form for corporation, and I believe our last two chapters will cover these things. If you are an S Corp, it'll be called Form 1120S. And then if you're a partnership, it's on Form 1065. So in case you haven't noticed by now, there's all different types of forms for everything. The government loves forms. So this is the end of video number 1, which is just about the intro to income taxes. So click on video number 2 so we can start with the next files.